Barb Nimi, 67 to 69, Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou.
Okay. My name is Mick O'Neill. I was a Peace Corps volunteer first in Ghana, and then I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Burkina Faso, which at that time was Upper Volta from 1972 to 1974. And I was stationed in a small village up in the northern part of Burkina, in a town called Tougari. I was very, very pleased to move from that teaching arena to the more development-oriented arena. And I was a well digger for another 2 years with Peace Corps. And this was very rewarding to me because it was something concrete. And I mean that literally. We were working with a lot of concrete. We had concrete, we had rebar. Every few weeks to a month maybe, we could borrow one of the pickup trucks, one of the Peugeot 404 4x4 pickup trucks. Would go around to a different village or different Peace Corps well diggers site, and we could use that to transport some. But in the intervening 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, we had to move all that concrete and rebar by donkey carts. So it takes a long time. So I worked in lots of different villages in the general area. I would usually go to a village and talk to the chief, and he would put me up one way or another. Wells, they're concrete wells that we're going in. We have to bring a lot of provisions to construct the well, and it may be 10 meters deep, it might be 20 meters deep. The well I trained in was 80 meters deep. It's a whole football field straight down. So we had to work in that. But I really didn't know where the water was. So this particular time, they brought one of the elders that could use a divining rod. And I didn't believe this until he was walking along and showed how to use it, and walking. And sure enough, the rod went down and said, "We'll dig here." And 10 meters later, we had plenty of water. And I had used it, and I didn't bend it down, I know that for sure. And this stick just properly bent down at the same site. Another village, the chief said, "We'll dig here." And we went down about 20 meters. Then we hit granite. Oh no, how do you get through granite? And this is after digging for several months, because it's all hand dug. So we get the mining bars out and break through. The Marabout in the town said, "There is water there, we will go." And sure enough, he finally broke through, and it became an artesian well with water rising up, not overflowing over the top of the well, but sufficiently high that it was an incredible pocket of water. That well was kind of interesting because before we hit the water, around the well was not really properly secured, and a cow dropped down into it, killed itself, and that was a lot of effort to get the cow out. So it had its problems. You have a dead cow, you have the granite cap, and you wonder if they're ever going to hit water. But the Marabout of the village said, "Yes, we will do that." And sure enough, they did it. So we had lots of different things like that. One time I was sleeping in the warehouse they used for the concrete, so I was a bit concrete dusty. And I get up, open up the door, and here I see the chief running across the village, and he's loading his shotgun, and boom, boom, he fires off 2 shots. And then I see why. Well, there was a dog that was running away from the chief. And if you recall in one of the other stories today, they were talking about rabies. Well, this was a rabid dog, and the chief knew exactly what was going to happen if they let that dog stay around. So he made sure that they could properly dispose of that dog, and he put it in its sleep state. So, yeah, as Dan said, it's not always a pleasant experience, but it sure is transformational. We loved it.
Fantastic.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Alan Johnston in Burkina Faso, 77-79. I was in a wells construction program, and I traveled around the bush in northern Burkina Faso in a Toyota Land Cruiser pickup, working with local villagers there to dig wells and construct cement-lined wells, mainly for livestock water, unusually enough. I got to see a lot of the area off of the. I was a long way from the main cities anyway, but I also got to see a lot of the back country areas where lots of people never went. So it was a really incredible experience for me, and I enjoyed every minute of it, and would go back and do it again in a heartbeat.
My name is Yvonne Bradley, Peace Corps, 1982-1984, Burkina Faso. There was so much technology that advanced within the 2 years that I was gone. There were machines that you would just run your hands underneath the water and water would come on, but I didn't know how to operate. And the most frustrating part, and I think most difficult part, after living in sub-Saharan Africa in a drought, seeing people water their lawns and just senselessly wasting water, sometimes I would just cry because I knew that there were people in sub-Saharan Africa that didn't have anything to drink, and we were watering their lawns. So you go through an adjustment phase, and during that time I found it very difficult to come back to the United States and just pick up where I left off. In time you do, and then you find ways that you can incorporate your Peace Corps skills in other areas, even in the United States. But initially, when you find yourself faced with situations, it takes a little time to get back into your routine.